Hey Mike, it's Jeff over here. I've watched your getting home videos and read some of the comments, but you tend to get so many damn comments it's hard to keep track of them. And I've watched a little bit of some of the videos, but haven't really paid a whole lot of attention yet. I just wanted to get some thoughts out. Just finished your second one though. You already addressed some of my original thoughts from your first video. One thing couple things I was going to add. One of those little space blankets. Those. They're dirt cheap, super light, take up next to nothing as far as space, and they're always just a backup to a tarp or whatever. Only problem is they're usually only about 3 foot by 5 foot, so they're not exactly super huge, but they could come, like you were mentioning, using a tarp for a reservoir or something like that. This would be a nice thin Mylar bag. You could wrap it up and turn it into a bag for carrying water or whatnot. That was one thing. Your choice for those freeze-dried foods, that Rocky Mountain or whatever the hell, they're super expensive. There's a couple of places I have some at home, but I haven't opened it up yet. You can get like 200 meals for like $60 or something like that. It's all vegetarian and stuff, but it's like 200 meals that are like 300 calories each, and they all come in their own little foil packet. And for me, when I was working in downtown LA, I used to have a get-home bag with a bunch of crap in it. Extra pairs of socks. I have a battery-powered flashlight, a GPS. One thing I did, everything runs off of AA's. I've got a little headlamp and all that shit. Everything runs off the same damn battery. Like, I know you've got your Phoenix that runs off of those CR123s, but having to dick with more than one thing, especially something that's oddball like that, the likelihood of finding it available on the road, finding someone dead on the road and stealing their batteries or whatever, pretty unlikely. So for me anyways, I just wanted, just like having the same ammunition for everything, all of my electronics, like I said, radio, I've got a little 2-meter radio I carry with me, and GPS and my flashlights all run off of AA's. Another food source I bring with me is instant oatmeal. I've eaten it out of the bag dry, just tear the top off, use a little spoon and eat it right out of that. There's a couple hundred calories. It's not the best for you, but it's got a little fiber and all that other shit, so it's not too bad. And they're small, and you get a lot of energy in a really small packet, and they're cheap. You had kind of mentioned one of the things I had also thought about was one of those little drag-along little carts. What you might want to think about is if you get one of those, put on little spacers, put a new axle in the base of it and get some of those big off-road tires. That way you can drag that fucker pretty much through anything. Or another option would be a skateboard. I realize you're probably not going to ride it, but you can, punch a hole in the front of it, put a leash on it, strap your water or extra food or whatever to it, and just drag it along behind you. And possibly even if you, wrap something over the wheels, you can use it as a sledge to drag behind you over land. But like you say, if your legs aren't your best way of getting around, having to put that much more shit on your shoulders and physically carry it, that's gonna suck. So anything you could put behind you as a sledge or a sled or something on wheels, or hell, on a big hill, you could just tuck your ass up onto it and go coasting downhill. And anytime you're not walking and you're just coasting, that's energy saved. So those are the big things I was thinking of. I live out here in California, which granted it's not as hot as Phoenix is, but where I live, we hit 100 degrees many days of the year, and it sucks. Like I said, I'm trying to think. There's no way of really packing spare water other than, like you said, carrying large jugs of it. Maybe look into getting a bladder, one of those kind of like a camel pack bladder that you can just retrofit into your backpack. Because those water bottles, they're nice and convenient, but they're bulky, and in the plastic from each of those bottles, well, it's not a lot. It all adds up. You said you've got your compass. That's not a big deal. Water purification tablets, maybe, or some charcoal. The crushed charcoal tablets, or even bring some. You can get it from your pharmacy. A bunch of those capsules, so you can just dump it out. It's not going to, you can't use it on salt water, but if you dump an iodine tablet into, you can find some brackish water, dump an iodine tablet to kill what's ever in there, and pour a whole bunch of charcoal in there, and it'll do a good job of purifying it if it's a no shit situation. So anyhow, those were the ideas I had. nothing earth shattering or anything, but just kind of simplifying stuff and maybe making it a little easier. Oh, one other thing. I'm sure you've got it in your toolbox, but I carry two things: a small crowbar like this for getting into doors if I need to, and also a small pair of bolt cutters. Actually, not really even bolt cutters, but basically all they're good for is getting through heavy gauge fencing. If you want to go straight from point A to point B in a straight line and there's a large fence in the way, especially if you're not able to climb a fence or it's difficult, being able to just go right through it. And so a pair of, basically heavy-duty dikes is what they are. So those are the only two pieces of equipment. You probably have something like that in your toolbox on the truck, but if you don't, just something to think about. Anyway, later.